This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar. Mashiach is here, and Mashiach is now. The PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Monday, January 5th, 2026, and Yom Sheni, the second day of the week, which is the 16th day of Tevet, 5786. The parsha of the week is Shemot, or Shemos, depending on your pronunciation. And Daf Yomi for today is Zevachim 113. Kuf Yud Gimel of Zevachim. This calendar is a calendar that combines many calendars, and it doesn't have any names of months on it. I don't know if you can see it closely or not, but these are not names of months. These are just identifiers that need to be changed eventually. These just say Oakwood cabinets and Beverly cabinets. That's all it says. Because these two purple squares fit under one rectangle. It resembles an idea that I formed while looking at a cabinet that had two doors and yet was one large space. And it was like two, it could be seen as two that were four focuses of attention. You could, in four ways, you could see two doors, and you could see two divisions inside a cabinet, and it was two that was four. And the concept, the phrase two, that's four, is a common recurring theme in different aspects of Jewish law, like with sacrifices and with oaths and swearing in the court, etc., different things. Two that are four. And so this should really be changed to letter. I think Aleph and Taf would be the best way, best choice. I was thinking of doing Aleph and Bet, but really it's going to be white is going to be Aleph and then Taf, and then as it changes, maybe Taf and Aleph. It goes back and forth. And so the purpose of this calendar are many, but the immediate use of it is to calculate gematria based on the movement of time. And the way that works is that on this calendar, there are two boxes every day that I make note of. That's the box that represents the sun and a box that represents the moon. If the box that represents the sun is a number that is based on the solar calendar, hence the sun, and the box that represents the moon is the box that is a number based on the lunar calendar, hence the moon. And as it turns out, the Gregorian calendar is based on the sun, and the Hebrew calendar is based on the moon, although it also is regulated by the sun in certain instances. And so the way I've been doing it, there's different methods of calculating the gematria for the day, but this is how it's calculated for today. So today is January 5th. So in January 5th, on the 5th day, remember I mentioned before that there are no months. So how do you know what month you're in? That's where the dispensations come in. Dispensations, there's 3 dispensations, and each dispensation, the best way of describing it, it's like a setting. It means you set the first month here, second month goes here, and third month goes here. By the way, this entire calendar accounts for 90 days. 80 days is this grid that you can see, and then 10 days under here that is invisible, referred to as T1, T2, T3, etc. up until 10, or 11, depending on the month, or 9, whatever. But not less than 9, not more than 11. But anyway, In this calendar, the dispensations dictate where the starting month is. If we're in dispensation 1, then the mutable months, and if you're not familiar with the term mutable months, you can look up online. I've explained it before, and I most likely will explain it again, but I won't explain it now. But if you want to find out, you can look up in astrology cardinal, fixed, and mutable months. Those 3 types of months that there are. If it's in dispensation 1, it starts at the mutable month, goes mutable, cardinal, and fixed. If you're in dispensation 2, it starts off at the cardinal. Then it goes cardinal, fixed, mutable. And if you're in dispensation 3, like we are in right now, it goes fixed, mutable, cardinal. So that means we're in a cardinal month right now, because January is a cardinal month, because Capricorn is a cardinal month. Unless you get to the end of January where it turns into Aquarius, so then it turns into a fixed month. But a cardinal month in this calendar is regulated. It's very numerically oriented. So it's not so much by the season, it's more what the number is. And it's generally going to cover most of the season. It won't cover all of it, but not always anyway. And so in a cardinal month in dispensation 3, like we're in right now, the 5th day of every month is always going to be on box that's printed number 32. It's not the 32nd box, it's printed 32 because this calendar is based on A plus 9. Again, to be explained at a different time. But if you remember, if you have been watching these videos and following along, if you remember, back on December 25th, it was also box 32. So you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, that's the 25th day. Why is it on box 32? Because, don't forget, it's a lunar and solar calendar. So back on December 25th, it was the 5th day of Tevet. So it was on 32 because it was the 5th day of Tevet. And I think I said in that video back then, I said when we get to January 5th, it's also going to be here. And guess what? It's here right now. Is that magic? Or not? Anyway, so 32, you can do magic, you can have anything that you desire. Remember that song from America? But I think magic has a value of 33. M is 13, A is 1, that's 14, G is 7, that's 21, I is 9, that's 30, and C is 3, that's 33. So it's not too far off from box 32. You can do magic, 32, and 3 plus 2 is 5. And this is, I remember that the 5th day of every month is always going to be here, cardinal in dispensation 3. Just don't forget about that one. Very important. Now, on the solar calendar, the Hebrew calendar, we are on the 16th day of Tevet. The 16th day of Tevet, in the same way, is always going to be right here. Box that's printed 6 on it. So 6, and it's kind of reminiscent of the 16 because it's like 6, and then 16, 26, 36, it ends off with a 6. And many of them they end off, even though it's a double digit, it ends off with the same digit at the end of the number. Like 6 would be on 16, or sometimes you'll have, like, the 8th day will be on 28. Like, they'll have that last digit the same. And even though it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it does go in order of 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9, so I think it creates the same effect. 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9, eventually it's going to be the same effect as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, I don't want to go into those because I can go off on a tangent, go into the rules of the calendar, so I don't waste a lot of time. So basically, the method that I've been doing for calculating gematria these days is I take the solar box, which would be 6, which would be 32 because it's January 5th, and the lunar box, which would be 6 because it's Tevet 16, and I add them together. So then what do you get when you do 32 plus 6? You get 38, right? Not 326? No, yeah, 8. You get 8. I mean 38, sorry. I was thinking about a date, March 26th, and then you could say, that joke, 1 plus 1 is 11. So basically, if you did the same type of logic, you do 32 plus 6 is 326. And I was thinking about that date before I started this video. So maybe it's also connection. But what I've been doing was 32 plus 6. 32 plus 6 is 38. And then what I need to do is get like 6 or 7 words that equal 38. That's the game, or that's the work, or the thing to do. So I wrote, I think, 7 words that are equal to 38. And some of them look like they're connected, and some of them look like they're not connected. I'll list them off. At the top of my head, they may not be in the order that I wrote them down, but okay, number 1 is balance. The word balance, spelled correctly, of course, in English. Balance, in the English gematria cipher, equals 38. English gematria means A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, D equals 4, all the way up until 26. Which is Z equals 26, because there are 26 letters. So balance equals 38. Then the word change equals 38. The word same equals 38. The word death equals 38. And the word ideas equals 38. I don't think I wrote that one, but I just know it off the top of my head. The word Jew, Jew, equals 38. The word gold equals 38. The word Frida, the name Frida, equals 38. And the name Zach equals 38, spelled Z-A, which is 27, right? And C-H is 11, so 11 plus 27 is 38. Some Zachs they spell it Z-A-C-K, and some Zachs they spell it Z-A-C-H, and some Zach spell it Z-A-K or Z-A-C. But if you spell Zach Z-A-C-H, I think that's the most common, then it will equal 38. Now, I'll just pick out from all those, I'll pick out a few that are very interesting. Change and death equal 38. And I think there's a clear connection between change and death, because death it's a change, and that's all it is. It's a death of one thing, but it's a change into a new thing. And same is also death, because if something is the same for too long, then it's also like in a way it's like dead. It's not moving. Life is movement. So in a way, life has changed, but in a way, death has changed too. And each one of those words equal exactly 38, which really points to the possibility that there is an intentional designer of the English language. And it would point to, when you see these connections, and I can point out many, many connections like these. But change, same, death, all equal 38. And those are clearly connected. Balance is a little bit more general, but you can throw that in there, that there's a balance between same and change, and that would be the death of one thing. And you could say just death sounds so final and so it sounds negative, but like even when we move in from fall to the winter, then the fall dies, and then the winter comes in. And then when the winter turns into spring, then the winter dies. And then it comes back again as reborn. And so that's the idea of the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar.